Okay, greetings everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to Discussing Tabletop. It is, of course, December 4th. It is the second holiday season, because we already had Thanksgiving.
Good old second holiday. I'm dead inside.
I mean, it is the beginning of the season, and I'm dead inside too, but for different reasons.
I have a friend who works at a toy store. I feel real bad for him.
God. I always felt bad for Joe because he worked at a toy store for a while during the holiday seasons. I think he has stories of holiday season.
I just work in food service. I get a different kind of pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this season is tis the season to be painful. Honestly,
it's the season to be rude to customer service people.
Oh God. I will try not to be, honestly. But again, I will probably also not buy anything. I will probably rely on my mother to buy any gifts that I will get for people because I am a horrible gift giver. I
just Instacart so I don't have to deal with people.
Yes, I think about doing things like that, but like, you know, it's like if I have to get a gift for someone, I'm like, hey, can you assist me with this? And she's like, yes. It's because, you know, again, I've always been bad at getting people gifts.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that's always for relatives. For friends, I'm just like, this. Sure. I think the friends group hasn't given gifts in a while because we would always do the Pollyannas, and we haven't had a Christmas party in years. So.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, in this day and age, if I want to get someone a gift, I just open up Steam and look at their wish list.
Yes. That's a nice way to do it nowadays, honestly. But, yeah. So, we have a kickoff that I guess is not necessarily holiday season related, but we got some interesting topics that came up this last couple of weeks. I'm gonna start with one right off the bat because there's two things that Wizards are doing.
Good old Wizards.
And
good old Wizards, our favorite company.
Yeah. And well, the first one is weird. It's not in it was missed coming out effectively, but it's Secret Lair Mischief. And it was only out for like a week. But apparently it's like a secret lair that was with an art group. And I swear, this is the weird thing about it. I saw someone playing around with them. There's something related with like stickers or something with this.
Stickers?
Yeah. It's like experimental or something.
And I like some of these cards. The Blood Moon one, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nifty little design. I like whatever this one with 3 swords is. I can't actually read what it says at the top.
I
think it's
swords to plowshares. Yeah,
right?
the classic card.
Yeah, because that's the description for it. Really bad text at the top there.
Yeah. So.
Cut ribbon,
yeah.
Good one.
Apparently, like, all those normal cards they're showing off here, the 5 they're showing off, they're normal foils.
Yeah.
They included in here, because apparently I didn't even know this until recently, Secret Lairs have a bonus card. You don't know what the fuck you're getting until they do. You don't know what you're getting until you get it.
That's weird.
And it could be something great, it could be something awful, it could be just something. This one is like a planes that you peel the way the top with like a sticker to reveal another card.
Why though? Feels like something you can only use once.
Yes.
It's like it reminds me of those like that meme set where there was a card where it's like you have to rip it up to do something with it. And that was just a meme set.
Oh yeah, the Chaos Confetti. I remember that one.
Yeah, that shit.
And this is like, it's based on some kind of artist group that I don't know their stuff for, and it is just, this is the weirdest shit ever. I mean,
Only there was a picture of it.
I can link you to the MTG Arena Zone article about it, where they have some pictures in here. I'll put their thing on it because it was
peelable card. I hate that.
Yeah, the peelable card. Secret Lair Mischief is a secret extra card, and it's a
someone
peelable.
posted their. I'll look at the Reddit thread.
Yeah, the Reddit thread I think is the one that has it.
It's got a video.
It's like a planes that you like that looks like a golf course that you peel away for another card.
I mean, like.
And then it makes fun of golf courses, and I'm like, what?
Why?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah, the description is golf sucks and now has always sucked.
The point is money, but.
And I'm like saying like, it has to be the artist group that's paying them is the problem though. Why would they pay for this kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't. You can only use this once because it's a foil sticker.
Yeah, granted, like that one is weird, and the rest of them, okay, they're normal cards.
Some of them are nice looking.
They're
One's like a little hard to read.
It's also like very few of the. It's the entire thing of like a lot of these secret layers is a lot of the cards are either cards like it's the unfortunate thing is you can easily get layers that don't have the value. But the problem is, like, you don't know how the value is going to change with the introduction of a card. Like, at the beginning of it, before it's out, you could be like, oh, hey, yeah, this will have a lot of value. Well, is it going to drop the value of all the other cards when this one is released?
Yeah, like, I don't want to really get it. I mean,
so like,
I'm just going to look at this secret layer.
It's like, it's my entire idea of like if an expensive secret layer a card's very expensive and a secret layer comes out and then the normal card because of now another reprinting is out, then that price drops. Is it worth it to wait and not get the secret layer where it would have had value and wait until the other one drops and maybe it's not within the value? I don't know, because the thing is like
it's hard to know how the second market is gonna react to this.
I mean, Wizards.
These Wizards support that shit.
Oh, they support the secondary market completely. You know, they lie if they say anything about it.
Absolutely, their actions, they support it. But like, I don't know. I feel like if half these cards are unreadable.
Yes.
That's the problem with them.
I think it's just their. I was watching something from Tolarian College the other day, and they said there was 46 secret layers out this year.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Almost once a week they put out a secret layer.
Too much.
And just think about, that's more than last year, and it's going to be more next year. You know, it'll be like these like super drops where there's like 10 of them once a month. They're probably going to get to something like that. And they're going to run out of ideas and just be throwing out shit. I mean, I'm sorry. This isn't a great market, and they're doing too many of them. Like, if they kept this, like, limited or something.
Like a once-a-year thing, like, and release a bunch of them, right?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be fine. Like, you know, once a year, 20 cards. They look cool. They're reprints, technically.
Even, like, once or twice a year, I could go for, like, you know, the 2 big drops a year that they put out, like... they could even put out like a bunch of different ones like this. That gives them time to think of interesting ideas. Like this is, unless you like this art style, which is like a specifically like I guess more modern art style, because they're saying it's like this group Mischief, which is a Brooklyn-based art collective. I don't know about these people.
I don't know shit about art.
I'm not a fan of their art. Like I look at this and it's like
ugly.
It's fine, but it's like not like.
The cut ribbons one is almost nice.
Yeah.
If it had leaned a bit more into the tarot card aesthetic instead of, I guess cut ribbons is kind of an ugly card because it's one of those weird.
Yeah,
it's two things.
Yeah. I mean, like Swords to Plowshares, it looks kind of like a heavy metal thing, and I'm like,
so hard to read.
Yeah.
The top.
Teferi's Pedal Box, just whatever. Blood Moon is whatever. Grim Tutors, like, it's a tombstone. It's a tombstone.
That's alright.
You didn't need like an art collective to make a tombstone.
Like, the problem with these is in like if you're playing a game against someone, let's say in your time, because some games they have timers.
Yeah.
So you know they don't take a billion years. You have to squint to read some of these. That takes time.
Yeah.
With a normal card, it's very clear what it says.
Mm-hmm. It's like the difference between a tournament and just playing casually.
Yeah.
Like, this is the kind of bling that people like to show off at tournaments and stuff in their decks and stuff.
This takes too much time to read.
Yeah, it's not helpful. I don't know. I'm continuing to not like the direction they go with secret layers. Like, again,
the secret layers kind of hit the bottom when they did Fortnite, I feel.
That was pretty bottom.
I think that was the bottom of the barrel.
I unfortunately think they can go lower, is the problem.
They probably really could.
I think it's that they're hitting this very low bar and they're just trying their best to lower the bar. Like
the next secret layer is just going to be the NFT monkeys. There we go.
The concept of a secret layer is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that they've taken it in a bad direction because it earns a lot of money.
They've done it too much. Is one of the problems. And like,
yeah,
having cool references to pop culture in their layers, you know, like, I didn't watch Stranger Things, but the Stranger Thing one, that was kind of neat. The Godzilla or the Walking Dead thing, also a little bit neat, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
Arcane one was, they didn't really do anything for me because it just looked like normal cards.
Yeah. And I think the difference between the Stranger Things and the Walking Dead one is when they said that there's the I think it's in the collector's boosters. Occasionally they have like an extra card from this like this list or something, and they're going to have functional reprints of the stuff from Stranger Things in that list, which tells me I don't have to just get the Stranger Things cards. And automatically, when they told me that, I'm like, I'm fine with you doing that then. Granted, not many people are going to have those other versions, but they will exist in normal Magic card versions and be able to be reprinted in some way then. I'm fine with that. As soon as you do that, instead of the Walking Dead one, if they do that with the Walking Dead one and fix that issue, I'm fine with that existing, especially if you want to use it in other formats.
Yeah, I just don't understand the appeal of these.
No, they're awful, and the weird sticker thing, it was such a weird. I don't understand what the fuck they're doing.
It's a card you can use exactly one time. You can show that trick off one time.
So, the other thing related to Magic I have to talk about is Alchemy.
Ooh.
Because Alchemy is Hearthstone.
It was only a matter of time.
It's a new Magic Arena digital-only format.
Are they just done with Magic Arena then?
Well, the thing is, it's part of Magic Arena.
Oh, of course it is.
So it's going to be a new format in Magic Arena, where I'll link these two things. Here is the article that talks about Alchemy, and here is the card list of Innistrad related Alchemy cards they're putting out. Like this one here. Spells cast from among cards your opponent drew this turn cost 1 more to cast. Spells cast from among cards you drew this turn cost 1 more to cast. Okay.
Alright, that's fine.
But the thing is, those are specifically, you can only do those in digital.
Yeah.
Because, you can't keep track of, like, cards that people drew.
That would be really hard to do in an actual game.
Yeah. It's like, splitting it is just one of these things that I don't know if it's good or bad at this point in time. Like,
I have such a negative opinion on Magic Arena.
Oh yeah, no,
because I side tangent. The game has been out for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
It is still only 1v1.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. There's no commander. There's no other game mode. It's just 1v1.
Well, I think
you have
standard
and historic or legacy or whatever it's called. Those are the two you get. And I would play it if it had more than, because the other Magic games had like 1v1v1v1 at the 4-player mode. The other Magic games.
Online had a lot of good stuff.
Magic Online was so good.
Online had its issues, which they did solve in Arena, some of those issues, but the problem is they didn't take a lot of the good stuff that online had
No, they
to
didn't.
Arena. They literally like, well, we'll solve these problems and cut out all the stuff that was already working.
Oh yeah, digital exclusive cards, which I don't like because these cost real money, and a digital card has no resale value.
Yeah. I mean, that's another reason I don't like Arena. It has no resale value. Like, at least online, if you collected a set, you still can redeem the set. It's not easy to do.
It's hard, yeah, but you can still do it.
Yeah. It's still something you can do. That is set in there. They have not gotten rid of that. It's like, that is the thing that tells me collecting on Magic Online has value. Now, granted, like, yes, Arena, you can avoid spending money, but it's a grind fest then. It's basically...
You have to play so much to do it, and...
It's a fucking
I don't even think there's
game.
I don't think there's a mobile app. I think it's just a computer game.
It's basically a mobile game
It
in
really
essence.
is. It's kind of just worse Hearthstone, honestly.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's worse Hearthstone. And like introducing a digital only format just tells me they want to be more Hearthstone, and they can't.
It's where the money is, in those sweet loot boxes, which are kind of what a card pack is.
I mean, a card pack always is
a card pack you can resell.
A card pack you can resell, and a card pack also, like, if you buy a bunch and don't get what you want, you can always buy the individual one, and depending on, like, granted, very rare things, probably pretty expensive.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
Generally, if you want to wait long enough, they'll drop in value.
Yeah, the market fluctuates quite a lot.
Yeah, so just watch the market. And honestly, like, it's one of those things is, like, the randomized packs I've both liked and disliked, and, you know, it's the same reason that I feel that there's a like and a dislike for the idea of the loot box. I just feel like the loot box, I always feel like I get less out of that than I do out of a physical card.
Because you might get less in Magic Arena than you get out of a card pack.
You might.
But I genuinely don't know.
But I mean, like, again, it's the difference between, like, oh, hey, look, I have these physical cards next to me and I can touch them.
You can look at them, you can play them when your internet's
if they're
out.
shitty common, I could eat one of them. I mean, like...
Rip it right up.
Yeah. It's not in my nature to do that, but I mean, like, I guess, like, if I have a lot of shitty commons that will never have any value, I would probably do that.
And you know, the advantage of a physical card, you can play when your internet is out.
Yeah.
Or when the servers inevitably go down.
Oh, wow.
Because you're not getting your money back when those servers go down.
I mean, it's like, when you get your money's worth, it's a cross between money you're paying for time versus money you're paying for a physical thing, and you have to figure out what your time versus physical thing is. You know, we all buy video games, we all buy stuff. You know, how much time am I getting out of that price I'm paying for it? And you know, are you getting your money's worth of enjoyment? And I don't think I have ever gotten any form of enjoyment out of Magic Arena. Here's a confession. I never finished the tutorial.
I finished the tutorial, and I played, like, a season, and I just didn't care. I
played part of the tutorial, and then I decided I was not having fun with this version of it. It was okay, but it was, like, against computers, and then, like, I think I was watching someone play against people, and I'm like, people are awful. You know,
there's also only, like, 3 decks that are ever played.
Yeah, the thing is, with Arena, you're probably going to be hitting competitive. I don't want to play competitive. I want to play casual.
Oh, casual is so much more fun. Like, the one season I did, I got to, like, pretty high competitive tier, and it was just the same deck over and over again. It was the meta.
The thing is, like, it's most games that are like that. I like the casual, like Siege. I never play ranked because I don't want to deal with that shit.
I used to play ranked, and I stopped and became a better person.
Yeah, I just like playing randomly casual and hoping the algorithm, teams me up with some random people that are decent.
You know, sometimes you get good group of people, and other times you get a 12-year-old who throws a grenade at you.
Other times you also just get like meme lords, and other times like you're also like they decide to balance the teams by putting like the super death platinum on the other team with a bunch of random
so
crappy
dumb.
people. And so like when they're like at the end of the game when they have like 20 kills and no one else has any on their team, you're like, yeah, they were hard carried.
Yeah, doesn't feel great. I mean, I can appreciate the meme lord because I do occasionally meme with Recruit.
I don't meme with Recruit, but I won't stop people from it.
Legitimately one of my top operators, and that's kind of sad.
It's
too good.
But the thing is, like, that's why like I don't mind a little bit more casual things. Like, my tournaments are pre-releases. You know why? Because no one knows what the fuck they're doing, and we're all just building random decks out of like, it's like, here's 7 packs, build a deck.
Oh
cool.
Yeah, that's really fun.
I like doing that.
The most fun I had when I played Magic was just getting a bunch of friends together and buying a big box and having a fun draft.
Yeah.
And then just making the worst decks imaginable because you never got anything good out of your packs. That's how it works.
Oh yeah, you know, you might have that one rare card, but if you're ever going to play it, probably not. There's certainly a lot of fun to be had with Magic, and a lot of fun that I would have with Magic. But I feel like, yeah, the digital format just not great for that. Also, I think there's issues with friends lists and playing against friends.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It's so hard to play with people.
See, that's another thing.
They want you to do randoms.
And I don't want to do randoms. I don't. And that's why I will not play Arena anymore.
It's so bad.
Ever. I don't think I'll ever finish that tutorial. Honestly.
It's not worth it.
It's like I was going to, because I was thinking of like maybe playing with Joe, but then the stories he gave me at that point in time discouraged me, and now over time, more discouraging stories.
It's just in a really bad state. And they just want Hearthstone, but you can't have Hearthstone because you're a physical card game already. So inherently, you just would lose value.
And the thing is, like, they're trying to become Hearthstone with Alchemy, and I don't think they're going to get that. I think this feels nail in the coffin-y for themselves. They're almost like throwing that nail.
They just shot himself in the foot, pretty much. 'Cause I don't actually think Arena has that big of a player base these days. But I could be wrong on that.
There could be people. Honestly, like, it's that unfortunate thing that I know.
Because it's not a Steam game, I can't look at its metrics.
Yeah, I know there are people that play Arena, and certainly like. I've seen that there's a couple of people that, you know, like, will randomly play Arena here and there, and people I've followed over time. But, I mean, that's random.
Like, I know every couple of months Jess will boot it up, and then Jess and I will do a couple of games, and then we'll both remember, oh, this game's bad.
Yeah.
Jess is a filthy blue player. That made me reevaluate some things.
Look, I have to say I am a filthy blue player, but I play all colors.
I'm also originally a blue player. I did that a lot in high school.
My original colors were red and green, though. That was where I started out with.
Play a lot of black and green. That's my favorite combo.
I do like that. I still, even though I never can make a decent red and green deck nowadays, I still like it a lot because it's my first deck was red and green. Now, I play whatever. Honestly, I have decks of all colors, and I like a lot of different ones.
I like artifact decks, and I like my black and green. I especially like my zombies. I like zombie decks a lot.
Hey, I love my Zoblin deck. It is my favorite deck that I built.
Nice.
It is zombie goblins. It is technically rainbow, even though it is primarily red and black. It just has a couple of cards of other colors that you can throw out there. It is also vintage or legacy legal. I can't remember which one. One of them.
I still have a deck somewhere. It's a red, white, and blue. It's a good old America deck. It's a garbage deck, but it's America.
Yeah, the deck is built around Drownu's Crusade, which is it's an enchantment that all goblins are also zombies.
Oh my god. Hell yeah.
And then I play 2 conspiracies, one calling goblin, one calling zombie. So now I can search my deck for every zombie/goblin in the deck. And also I can pull out Ulamog with like strips of like dead flesh taped to him and like fake ears on. You know, he's like, I'm a zombie goblin too.
Oh,
Morph. I do that. It's just like, rah. It's like, that's not a zombie or a goblin. Are you sure? Look at the ears. It's, you know, it's got like the head thing with the fake ears on.
The image looks like a zombie goblin to me.
That's one of those things. It's a kill condition, you know. You just pull out Ulamog. He's like, yeah, he's totally a zombie goblin now.
Yeah. Totally.
Anyway. That's enough about wizards. Let's talk about Paizo. Paizo has something.
Paizo.
And out of print titles return as print on demand.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes,
that's good.
They have a whole list of products that include things like the Emerald Spires Super Dungeon I was talking about. It's a bunch of stuff from first edition, so a bunch of volumes of like things like Return of the Rune Lords, Reign of Winter, Council of Thieves, some of their original campaign setting stuff too. This is stuff like this is good because it's sort of like there are still people that really like first edition. Some of this
first edition is still pretty popular.
Yeah, and
because I will say I like second edition. I got problems with second edition, but I like most of it. I don't like that everything's a condition. That's something I don't like.
Yeah.
I also don't like that you can just screw yourself leveling up feats.
Well, I mean,
you just run out of feat choice if you do something.
I will say, first edition definitely has its issues because it's still like
it's clunk.
It's still got some of the clunk left over from third edition, which has clunk left over from AD&D.
Yeah.
You know, they fix the clunk slowly but surely over time. Again, I will always say, 5th edition took too much clunk away.
Oh, 5th edition is too... That's like... I love 5th edition.
Yes.
But it is far too simple.
Agree. But, like, again, my opinion on 2nd edition about how much clunk is there or not is not quite there, because it's in its own thing. Regardless, though, the idea that they are doing some print-on-demand... yeah. So it's these print-on-demand differ from the original versions, as in the inside covers have been printed as additional pages in the book's interior, and now some are soft covers for the first time. So it's sort of
volumes.
Yeah. So it's sort of like, I think it's making it easier for they can print it on demand. You know, that like it sounds like.
I mean, honestly, like the campaign setting for Pathfinder in general is like a wild campaign setting, so having that book is just kind of worth it.
Yeah.
Golarion is absolutely wild.
God, yeah,
It's got like a bit of every type of fantasy.
It really does. They have like a lot of like, you know, like they just somehow include it all. Like they're like, oh yeah, by the way, they had like an ancient civilization with super technology on here. You know,
the moon like crashed into the planet, and then someone raised it back into the sky. Also, there's androids.
Yeah. Also, you can find like a Gatling gun. It's totally there. It's like ancient technology, but it's there.
There's,
you know,
like some horrible death space station at the edge of the galaxy as well, or something.
Yeah, and like the ancient civilization that had existed here went off to like another galaxy or something and became like a super race that, you know, like doesn't show up till Starfinder because they are connected and with a mysterious time jump of something or other. I don't know.
My favorite thing is all of these adventure paths canonically just happen in the timeline.
Yeah, they're just like, oh yeah, by the way, they all happen.
All of this just happens.
Yeah. I think it's like, yeah, that it's like you get to that point in time and you're like, oh yeah, that had happened, you know. Yeah, oh yeah, like that guy from Thassalon, he tried to raise up, you know, some great heroes stopped him. Yeah, you know, don't have to worry about that. Yeah. I think my favorite thing about those is that someone had talked about what having an adventure in the storyline where it was the darkest timeline where all the adventure paths, the heroes failed at the end.
Oh no.
What the hell the world would have been like with that?
That would be horrible.
Yeah, it would be ridiculous. Someone worked on looking what that would be and like talked about it. It's a thing. Still, I mean,
Having the option to get old adventure paths that aren't printed anymore is a good thing, because some of them are a pain to find.
and I think it's the thing too is that as much as they would still be offering PDFs of these, print is still different. You know, like if I had an option for in-group playing that would work out for me, I probably would still do it. Yeah. I would prefer to have a book in front of me rather than on my computer, you know, or a laptop or something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, so it's my situation doesn't scream I need a book physically in front of me, but there's plenty of people that do. No, the villains would be all killing each other. They'd be vying for power. It would be like some of those like bad superhero, like the like villain the comic book villains that, like, you know, they can't work together. They also try to murder each other if they have the chance.
Right? Like the Lich dude from Carrion Crown, he's gonna just try to reconquer everything.
Yeah, so he'll be battling against like the dark demigod of the giants and, like, you know, the freaking Rise Rune Lord come back from the grave or something, you know, and
yeah.
And there'll be like an ancient deiphatic AI that'll also be in there too. I think that's the technology one, has something like that. And probably. Oh hey, there's also like an army of like devils or demons or something there too. It'll be a clusterfuck. Normal people would be just like, well, damn.
Time to leave.
Time to leave the planet forever.
Time to plane shift.
Time to plane shift. And we're done with this. But yeah, it's a good thing. So I'm 99%. This is probably English. Please work in my brain. Lord of the Rings related. There you go. Yes.
I mean,
it kind of is. The One Ring by Free League Press. They are in Middle Earth.
It literally mentions Mordor. Yeah, this is the Lord of the Rings thing, which I'm cool with.
I thought it was like my brain, but then like I'm also like, they don't actually mention Lord of the Rings, and I'm like,
yeah, I had to click on the book.
Yeah,
and it gave the information.
I swear I'd seen something when I was looking up that mentioned, like, you know,
role playing in the world of the Lord of the Rings. I'd be down for that because I actually really like that world.
Free League Press does some good things. They, as much as I haven't tried it, there are good things people have said about the Aliens campaign that they've done.
The Aliens one's apparently pretty good.
Yeah. Tales from the Loop is supposed to be pretty good too. I think those are the two that off the top of my head I can point out that are like, that Free League has done that I know are pretty good.
I've heard things about Mutant Year Zero.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a pretty good one too. But so Free League Press does a good job. It's Lord of the Rings. Rules for traveling the land, fighting combat, and meeting personalities in Middle-earth. So council, journey, combat are your three things. So it's basically like adventuring, murdering stuff, and role playing. You know,
it's in between The Hobbit and The Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay.
It's 20 years after Bilbo's journey, but still 50 years before Frodo leaves.
So it's sort of like things are getting worse, but haven't gotten to the all-out war.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten to the War of the Ring
yet. So you still have, like, orcs are showing up more often, goblins, problems with going on in the background, you know. Mordor's gaining power, but not anywhere near murdering everybody kind of levels of power. Yeah, so that's not a bad.
Much like the Lord of the Rings books, most of your adventures probably walking.
I mean, they do say like journey, combat, council. Journey is traveling across the land.
Yep. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna be walking a lot. Sometimes you're gonna be running or riding a horse. But you're gonna be walking a lot.
They give 6 patrons, individuals sponsoring the adventures of the player heroes. You can get Bilbo or Gandalf, and maybe some others might be hiring you to do stuff.
I want to go on an adventure that Radagast sends me on.
He's just like, my squirrel needs some nuts.
You need some drugs.
I need some special weed from the forest. I need special.
That bastard Tom stole my drugs again. Go get him.
Go knife him. I need the good stuff. God. Rules for creating your own nameless things. Noble beings from the dark corners of the world. That's seemingly pleasant. Oh, God. Yep. I mean, they have a couple products out. They have the core, well, pre-order. Pre-order for the core rule books. There's a starter set. They have a Dungeon Master screen, a couple of maps.
I just put this in Freedom Bucks. So I know how much they cost.
Oh, yeah,
they're in Swedish money.
Is that Swedish money?
Yeah, it's the Swedish money, because it's got the Swedish flag. KR is, because it's a Swedish company, I think.
Yeah, but it could be... Oh, it's Great British Pounds, though. It's what they're showing.
Well, mine started in KR, which is the...
It says GBP, the little Ellie thing, and like the pre-order starts at $35.35. I don't know why mine's in pounds then. Oh, I can click on it.
Yeah, you can click on it and change.
Oh, I can do it in KR, Euro, dollars.
I like these maps.
Oh.
I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd.
Swedish, like, krona?
Yeah, Swedish krona is...
It confuses me. It's a lot.
It's a bit weird.
Is it? It makes me think of, like, the Japanese yen.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that, where it's not really worth it.
The yen always... I assume 1 yen is always, like, around a cent, give or take, you know.
About... It fluctuates a lot,
above or below. I think it...
Currency is hard to predict.
Yeah. It's hard to predict. But I always feel like it fluctuates somewhere above or below there, and then maybe this is the same. Anyway.
I would play this.
Oh, yeah, no, I think...
I'd be 100% into this. I love Lord of the Rings so much.
I do like it a lot. I will confess, I have read The Hobbit, but I have not read the actual Lord of the Rings
I read The Hobbit once a year. The actual Lord of the Rings trilogy it's a little bit hard to read because it's written very strangely. It has, you know, like The Hobbit has like music breaks in the middle of it.
Yes.
Imagine that, but 3 books worth.
Oh,
it's a little weird.
That's a lot for me. Like, I like the Jurassic Park, the original book. It has weird, like, computer graphics-y shit in the middle of it. I can read that once every couple of years or something, you know.
Yeah, I read The Hobbit about once a year. It is my favorite book.
So, like, Lord of the Rings with 3 books in a row that you'd really want to read in a row, I don't know if I could do that, because that's...
They're great books, but they're a bit of a hard read these days.
I would tell you, if you want a good portion of that, the original... Peter Jackson's trilogy of Lord of the Rings ones, the extended editions will be pretty good on getting most of that correct. There will be some differences between the books.
There are a lot of differences. But a character is cut out because there's no physical way you could put that man in an adaptation. He is too fucking powerful.
Yes.
Little Tom, what's his face?
Tom Bombadil. That's the major one that's been removed.
That's the one people were mad about.
Yes. But the thing is, it's really...
Peter Jackson didn't know how to do them, so he's just like, I'm not putting them in.
And that's the thing is, there are some issues like that around, but most of it is pretty good.
It's like, well, there's like Helm's Deep's a little bit different. The final battle's also a little bit different, but it's still mostly the same.
It's enough that you can get it if you really don't want to read the books, honestly.
Or you could watch the old cartoons, which are pretty accurate.
Yeah. Oh, they're very short, but they do the stories.
They're short, but they're also like fairly good.
Yeah. Oh.
The Hobbit cartoon tells the story better than 3 movies did.
It really does, because the book is like
the book is like 200 pages.
It's not long, and
It's a children's book.
It was a children's book. You have to remember, Tolkien wrote The Hobbit first for his kids.
Yeah.
Then, when his kids became adults, he wrote The Lord of the Rings for his adult kids based on that story. I still always remember the guy with like the Frodo of the Nine Fingers and the Ring of Doom. He's got that kind of like weird chortling. I love that. Look, I will suggest those 60s. I think it's 60s.
Oh
60s or
like
70s.
60s or 70s, yeah.
Oh yeah, they're classics.
They're very good.
They're very good though.
Golem's like a frog in them, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah, kind of weird. It's a weird art style, but not bad. But yeah. So Lord of the Rings. I'm glad they're doing something. It's cool. They might be calling it the One Ring just maybe they're doing it because they're setting. Maybe they're doing it because someone else had already done a Lord of the Ring RPG.
There probably is a Lord of the Rings RPG already.
Yeah. And I think there might be one from a little while ago, from like 10 years ago or something.
It could also be the Tolkien estate is like, you can call it this, but not this.
Yeah. It's like they might have enough for using the material, but not enough for using the names. Because,
not using the actual branding.
Yeah, branding is a lot, and is much more expensive than just the information. Certainly, when you're licensing. Okay, so we went to Starbucks. My mocha's more like a latte. I had 3 drinks, and I don't want it anymore. This isn't what you pay for cheaper. Wow!
I just get McDonald's coffee and call it a day.
I have this cup with some ice, and I put this Pure Leaf unsweetened green tea into, and I called it a day. I
currently have a cup of tea.
It is green tea, so it is dirty leaf water.
I have some it's like a citrusy tea.
Ooh.
I'm drinking out of my Star Wars mug.
Ooh. I have this nice kind of weird red cup. It's the only one we have in the household of that looks like this, and I don't know why we have just this one cup.
I feel like because I have that too. We have one cup that is not like the others, and we have no idea where it came from.
See, these are the cups I use for my water, which I change out every couple of days, because it's just a water cup. But they also are like an insulated thing, so if I put ice in here, it keeps it cold a lot longer. So we have 2 of these, and I just switch them out. And just, I like them a lot. Anyway, Lord of the Rings, the RPG, it's coming out. When is it?
Let me see what the page says. Let's look at the core rulebook.
It's
It'll probably come out after this. That doesn't say, actually.
I just see pre-order. The order will ship in January.
T-shirts. We got merch.
Of course they have merch. They have, everybody has merch, don't they?
I'm very tempted to get these maps because I do love Middle Earth.
Oh, the maps are really cool looking too, definitely. And I feel like they're that kind of thing that, if you're that kind of person that likes it anyway, it's definitely on your list. It ships in January. And if you get the cloth ones, they're leftovers from the Kickstarter campaign. They're limited edition. So that's the Shire and the Eredon maps the cloth ones are Kickstarter leftovers for pre-order. And January is the ship date, which I'm assuming is I'm assuming the Kickstarter stuff's kind of coming out around now, soon. And then January is when they ship all this stuff out after they're done their Kickstarter stuff. Uh-oh.
This bundle actually isn't that much, considering all the stuff that comes with it.
Uh-oh. Someone was probably not doing something that they should have been doing and getting in trouble.
Small children.
She's
off. I have 3 of those that live downstairs in the other house.
She currently
they scream a lot.
She had her phone. She had a cell phone for a while because she can talk to her grandmother down in Tennessee on it and not take up the home line. Was one of the main reasons to get it, which she was using to watch some YouTube videos and stuff too when she had a chance. She got it taken away from her for being bad.
Oh.
I think she's not doing what she needs to earn it back is what's going on.
Probably. I mean, that sounds like a kid thing.
Yeah.
We were all children once.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
So, Modiphius is releasing a few things.
Oh, Modiphius.
We'll start with the first one. The Devil's Run Player Primer, which is not large, but it's an introduction. It's not a quick start guide. It's the next level from a quick start guide, because quick start guides are usually like 1 or 2 pages and free.
Yeah.
There's like a $5 thing, and it has a brief history of the setting, rundown of the factions, full character creation breakdown, gears, and merch table.
This is Mad Max.
Yes, it is Mad Max. Devil's Run was Mad Max.
I'm kind of into that.
For £5, which I don't know how much dollars.
That's $7.
$7 for $7 for something that, like, I guess it's what a player would want.
Yeah, it's what a player would need, pretty much.
So, you know, your GM gets the core book. You just, if you want to get an extra book, you get this for $7. That's not bad, actually. I mean, like, it's very different from, like, honestly, the unfortunate thing is, like, both players and DMs need this thing for 5th edition. Yep. And honestly, the same can be said for Pathfinder 2nd edition. Honestly, that both of them need the book.
Yeah. The thing with Pathfinder's book is it's not out of date. The player's handbook for 5th edition is very out of date at this point.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. But this is also gigantic. And,
oh god, that I like
$60.
Yeah, I checked. That is larger than both the DMG and the player's handbook put together.
Well, I mean, there is an entire section on being a DM in here. There's like game mastering, playing the game, crafting, and treasures.
That's how many rules are in Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Compared.
They have an entire thing on like the world setting, the Lost Omens guide.
That's how you should do it, in my opinion. It's just one big book, not two tiny books.
Oh no, I do like this a lot. And the thing is, they do actually have also a GM's guide for this. That's like, hey, you know, you as a GM, if you want some extra stuff to help you as a GM, here's an entire book of stuff. We gave you the basics of how to GM in here. You want advanced shit? You want tables for rolling to figure out like weird
random tables.
Well, that was the. I don't know if the 2nd edition one has it. I haven't checked, but the 1st edition one.
I know the 1st edition has a lot. I hate random tables. They've ruined many games for me.
Well, my favorite are the random name generating tables.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing they give me. So it's sort of like, I need an idea for a bar, and so it gives you like a name and some kind of like weird, like it's got an old well in the middle of it, or it's just got a lot of cats, or there's a fruit tree that everybody's able to like grab it. Or one of my favorites is like Old Bonesy. It's like a pile of bones from the original creator of the bar that's just enshrined there. It's like, is there a skeleton in a chair there? Yeah, that's the guy who's founded our bar. You know, when he passed away, we just didn't know what to do with him. We just kept him there.
Just give me a dialogue table so I can be like Gary Gygax in Futurama.
That was good too. I mean,
it's nice to meet you.
I just like he lolls the dice and does that. Look, you know, Gary Gygax had his issues, but I liked him in Futurama.
Good Futurama episode.
It was. So yeah, Player's Primer is really cool. Honestly, this is one of those things. I haven't seen something for Devil's Run in like over a year, and I think it's something that I feel like Modiphius does pretty good. Is as much as you think they've forgotten about some of their RPGs, they don't. They just occasionally just like, oh hey, here's an extra thing for it.
Modiphius releases a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. They've also got like a lot of weird RPGs.
They do have a lot of weird RPGs. Like, under their fantasy section is the John Carter of Mars, which you would think would be sci-fi, but no, it's really more fantasy.
Also, there's a Dishonored one.
There is the Dishonored one.
But it's Dishonored 2.
Conan Mork Borg. Yes, I forgot that's a weird one. Yup. So certainly, Modiphius does a lot of great there.
Yeah.
Oh hey, look, they opened a U.S. store for cheaper local shipping now.
Finally, I might actually buy something from them.
I know. I can just change
shipping's expensive.
Yeah, you can just change this currency to U.S. dollars. Oh, I can do it over there too. Oh my god, I didn't realize.
Freedom dollars.
Yeah. What's an NZD?
It's New Zealand, I think.
Oh, New Zealand dollars, Great British pounds, euros, Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, US dollars. Huh. Look, as much as like I'm US dollar I'm all for, New Zealand, Canada, Australia. We all left the British Empire. And you know what we did?
No.
We got rid of the pound and got a freaking dollar.
Canada still has the Queen as their head of state, so...
Yeah, not as much anymore. I think we've talked about that with the Umber. They're like, yeah...
She didn't stay. I think Australia and New Zealand also technically have her as their head of state. She doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's
otherwise, that'd be weird.
It's that weird organization of former British colonies.
The Commonwealth.
Yeah, the Commonwealth thing or something, rather. It's weird. But, yeah. That's not the only thing Modiphius is doing. There's two other things I want to talk about. First off is, though it just came out, an adventure for Dune.
Ooh, I kind of wanted to try Dune.
A 34-page introductory adventure for the Dune's Adventures in the Imperium role-playing game.
I really like the movie.
It brings you to Arrakis, preparing for the arrival of House Atreides. So it's before the movie.
Ooh, neat.
So I think it leads from that into it, because it's like soon after.
I assume so.
Yeah. There's pre-generated characters. It's like, but all the new characters from a different house. So there was a core book preview, and there's a new version of it that's been updated and stuff.
I would not want to run this because Dune is an incredibly political setting.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to be a player in it.
I don't know if I've done enough political adventures to...
Politics are hard, man.
Yeah. Like, I can handle very heavy... I can handle dungeon crawls. I can handle combat-heavy games. I can handle role-playing heavy games. But the role-playing heavy, they come in different forms. Just a bunch of people chatting and organizing shit, that's one thing. Politics. That is a thing that is not something I have hidden too much in my games, so I don't know.
Seeing people do it really well, I don't think I could.
Mm-hmm. I'd have to ask Sel how he thinks Delric does it, because I think he does like a bunch of political with his because they're doing that kingdom building game, and that's very politics. Kingmaker. It's very politics. That might be something to look at too, is like the original Pathfinder Kingmaker game, because that's politics. That might be a thing to look. That might be Baby's first politics, though. I don't know.
Probably is. It's got all of it written in for you.
Yeah. Well, it's a Pathfinder adventure path. You say it's got everything written in for you.
Got some things written in. Will it ever tell the player these things?
No. And one last thing that is coming out. It's new, coming out mid-December. It is a new RPG, and I put it in the wrong chat here, but that also is correct place to put it. I just put it reverse order. Legends of Avalin, a Celtic mythology in Roman Britain.
Okay.
Tabletop RPG. So it's Celtic.
Interesting.
But it's in a time period. So I get the mythology. So we're doing Celtic mythology.
Yeah, then Celtic mythology, and I assume with antiquity technology.
Yeah, so it'd be like Roman age Britain. So it's like, I would assume that there are the Romans there in southern England, in their occupation.
They've got the wall.
Yeah, Hadrian's Wall.
Well, it's not called Hadrian's Wall here; it's called something else.
Yeah, but I thought that
it is Hadrian's Wall in real life.
Okay.
There's actually two of them, but I forget what the other one's called.
A parallel home to Fey demons, gods, and dragons. I guess has been like influencing the world or something. So it's an interesting set. The greatest legends rise from humble beginnings, and yours will be no different. A shepherd ordained as a druid, a bard reborn as a fey touch, the thief who found glory as a gladiator. So it's the idea that you kind of build yourself up from nothing, which is a neat thing. Yeah, I mean, I think we've had Celtic-based lore before, but I feel like this is definitely going for more, I guess, a realistic setting, because it is Roman Britain for the Celtic lore.
I'm not gonna be able to say any of these names on here.
I
If I ever run this.
barely was able to say the name of the game. Avail it.
Scots is hard. Gaelic is hard. All those languages are hard.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know. We'll have to see what more about, like... It's interesting looking, to say the least. Glad they're putting out more material, like more books and stuff, more games. Neat. Its pre-orders start shipping mid-December.
Ooh, neat.
So it's not
$70.
It is a core rulebook.
Yeah, theirs are expensive because they're big.
Yeah. Oh no, it says $48 American.
Oh, I'm on a different currency apparently.
Ah.
I was on Canadian, not Canadian.
Oh, Canadians are expensive.
$48.
Poor Canadians.
Canadian is expensive.
I feel bad for them. Yeah, I thought 70 was a little expensive because this Pathfinder one was 60, and I could probably just swing this and like kill someone with it. It's heavy enough, you know. It's,
probably.
It's a good number of pounds. I could just, you know, it's like that just statuette people find that they just randomly hit people in the head with, you know. So
everyone has one of those.
Death by Core rulebook. That's your clue game. It's like it's the DM in the den with the Core rulebook.
Colonel Mustard in the lobby with the DMG.
What? I am no DM. I am merely a player. Yes. I don't know. I'm not doing my very clue voice very good. It does also have strange abilities because you need a deck of regular playing cards to use with it. Yeah. So I'm curious as to the system, how it works. Yeah, that sounds about right. I would kill people in the lounge with the Core rulebook. I mean, you know, it's the lounge. I'm hanging out there. It's their fault for showing up. I was going like this, and it was their fault for walking into the book. It's like Simpsons. It's just kicking, and if you walk into me, it's your fault.
Yeah, you know.
I don't know where that's going. That's a weird one. Anyway, I got like one more main topic here for like stuff. Mega Man. There's a board game.
Mega Man.
Yeah.
Mega Man's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's styled after the original NES games.
Like the box.
The box looks like an NES cartridge.
Box is pretty good.
Yeah. Wait. What is this?
Oh, he's gonna
Ninja
pull
Turtles.
them out.
There we go.
For all the Zoomers watching, that's what video games used to look like.
This is indeed what a video game used to look like.
You try it on Tabletop Simulator already. They've released an official demo.
Oh god, they have? Wow.
I actually like that.
Also, this game has issues. I'm just going to tell you that one there. That's got that one of the most infamous water levels in existence.
I remember that.
Cooperative 1 to 4 players. Role of Mega Man and his allies against Dr. Wily and the Robot Masters.
Nefarious Dr. Wily.
That's interesting that you can play like a single quick game, or you could do a campaign where I guess you'd fight through all the Robot Masters and get to Dr. Wily.
I love those kind of board games. Those like legacy campaign board games.
I mean, I'm assuming because of the nature of the card game, because there's probably like some like simple random chances, you could probably like play through things in different orders.
Probably.
And make like, you know, so it's like, oh, would this ability help me better here or something rather? And you get bonus abilities to traverse traps, obstacles, and enemies. I mean, yeah. Enemies and stages from Robot Masters from Mega Man 1, 2, and 3. And I assume that they could probably come out with, you know,
expansion for some of the other games.
Yeah. So. Or if they don't have all the Robot Masters from those original 3, more of them too. I mean, there was like, I guess with the modern day versions of those original series, there's like 10 Mega Man games. So there's a billion Robot Masters. And
there's a lot of Mega Man games, yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of like Pokemon. There's always that Robot Master people thought was really cool. I don't remember mine.
I don't really remember any of them. Remember there was a red guy.
I think
Proto Man. He was that dude.
had Snake Man, which I thought was an interesting design.
I think there's like a skeleton dude. Like
a
skull robot.
Yeah. Man. I remember the originals too. They were
a long time.
They were not.
I played Mega Man.
Yeah, like the original 6 in the original, 8 in the second, and from then on, because the 6 was original was Cutman, Gutsman, Iceman, I think, Bomb Man.
Bomb Man, that's a different video game.
I mean, it was definitely a different game. I wouldn't want to know another Bomberman back, honestly. Yeah. I can't remember the 6 Robot Masters. I'm missing 1 or 2. My brain won't.
I'm just gonna Google it.
There we go. Robot Masters. Who am I missing?
Oh my god, there's so many.
Yes, there's a billion because there's been a billion games.
Jesus. There's so many. Proto Man, Mega Man, some dude named Roll, Cutman, Gutsman, Iceman, Bomb Man, Fireman, Electman,
I forgot Fireman,
Time Man, and Oil Man.
Those were only in the comics, and the first 3, Proto Man, Mega Man, Roll, were the first 3 Dr. Light robots. Because it was supposed to be the Dr. Light robots made in order kind of thing. Because
one had Skull Dude in it.
Skull
Man, Mega Man 4.
Oh, that's where Skull Man was. I think 4 was the last one I might have owned, maybe? Because that had Pharaoh Man, and I remember that was a stupid stage, because it was like a pyramid, and I'm like, why is he a pharaoh?
I played Mega Man 10, which wasn't that good. I didn't like it.
They got 11 now. I think 11 was the last one they did. Ugh. When did that come out? I'm finding out. 2018.
2018.
Wow.
I think I saw someone play this.
Yup.
It's one of those franchises that's just not going to die.
No. But anyway, Mega Man, a cooperative card game. Neat.
Yeah.
Pre-orders for that now.
How much you cost? $40. It's not bad.
Not bad for a game like that. Let's see here. Let's move on to our deeper discussion. And this is the one that I wanted to talk about when I put my original list together, because it's something that, as both of us do DM, it's something you do. Describing the room. Because, like...
It's important.
It's important to describe the situation. But describing the room is a difficult skill, I think, to, like, actually talk about.
It is.
Yeah. It's... You can have too little description or too much description, and certainly, like, too little means that your players are going to interpret the room, the situation that they're in, maybe incorrectly.
Yeah.
They could make choices that are not well made, and too much description just kind of
bogs it down.
Yeah.
Describing them as something I struggle with, but it's not that much of a problem for me because I have map making skills. So I just make maps if I need a room.
Yeah.
That only works on digital games.
Yes, it does. I think for me it tends to be that I try to, like, hint at details that I feel like people would care about, kind of thing.
Yeah, like if you get the important details that are immediately visible in a room, that's often enough, because then players can roll for more information.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's sort of like, if I have someone coming into a bedroom, I might be saying there's like a bookshelf with some books on it, and a desk, and the bed, and of course like maybe a chest next to the bed. This like gives people an idea of like these are the things people normally like to search, or someone might leave something at. And that description there gives you an idea of like a small room that someone could like work in or something. Some of those components might not be in every room, you know, but like putting that together gives you an idea of the use of the room. Like I don't have to add in like, oh, what's the lighting? Well, the lighting might not be lit right now. If I said like there's light in the building originally, you know, I would mention whether the room is dark or not. If there's a carpet, I don't know if to say that. If they care about the bedding on the bed, maybe I'll say that. You know, it's when they inquire, I can add and invent more. But
the one time I've ever mentioned a carpet in a room was because it was a monster. It beat someone to death.
You gave them a warning. They didn't listen.
I did say that there's a carpet in the middle of the room.
I mean, like, I might like if there was like a really cool bear rug or some kind of like animal rug, I might mention that, you know, something like that, you know, that sticks out.
Like, cool things that stick. You don't have to mention the color of the wall. That doesn't matter. In most cases, it doesn't matter what the wall is painted.
Yeah. Now, like, if it's like a stone structure and the walls are different in there, like,
identify that.
Yeah. If I probably said that when you first entered this area. If the stone is different in the room, maybe I'll mention that. Yeah. You know, if it's wood and the wood is different, maybe that. Like if the walls are painted or have some kind of wallpaper on them, I'm probably not going to say anything about that. You know, I'm like, it's a mansion where, you know, it's decorated walls, I'll say, you know. And then, like, I'm not going to, unless people are asking if the decoration's different or something, I'm probably not going to do that.
The worst thing I've ever seen is, when describing a room, is, I'm going to talk about Critical Role for a second. Because there was an episode in Campaign 2 where good boy Matt Mercer said there's a chair in the room, and the players spent an hour asking about the chair.
That was a long time to talk about a chair.
So sometimes it's not worth mentioning certain things because players can be dumb.
Look, this is the exact reason that there's an infamous story from a very early game on with me, Joe, and a couple of other our friends. And the storyline goes, we found a tower. The entryway was locked, so we climbed up into a hole in the wall, where when we got into that hole, because it was like an old ruined tower, turns out there was an evil wizard that was like had moved in there. We fought the evil wizard, drove him away. They disappeared with invisibility. As soon as the battle was done, we were like taking a stock of stuff, and our DM goes, a seagull lands on the edge of the hole, and one of our players goes, just snaps his head and goes, is it menacing? And so the menacing seagull became like a group meme, you know? It's the menacing seagull. Because his entire thought pattern is, maybe she polymorphed to spy on us and came back. We're like, it's just a fucking seagull. They probably lived here, you know, and it's like in this big hole, and we're nesting here, and the lady just moved in and probably didn't bother with them, you know? Oh, God. I mean, like, I don't know if there was more reason to that detail of the seagull landing there.
Sometimes a bird just lands somewhere.
And
like, you'll, as a DM, you'll throw something in to be like a little memey or funny, like a bird. Oh, a seagull lands here, and then it turns into something
because the players make it something, and it doesn't need to be. And you have to be careful of that. I think that's the Matt Mercer chair thing. Is you can make something a thing if you're not careful. I think that's where too much detail comes in. Is you can, like, if you want to describe something really interesting in a room, cool. Are the players going to fixate on it? You hope not.
Yeah, you kind of hope not, unless you want them to.
That's true. There is the opportunity that, like, Again, I think that's the difference between I'm having them fixate on this because it's important, and I'm having them fixate on it because lol memes.
Yeah.
And certainly it's easy to do both by accident.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely do both by accident. Like, the players will home in on the dumbest shit. I don't know why. And it doesn't make sense when you're a GM, but when you're a player and the GM mentions like a painting, it's like off mentions a painting, you're gonna think he mentioned that painting. That might be important.
Yes. It might be. Or it just might be a painting.
It's just a painting. Or it's a mimic that's gonna eat your face.
It also could just be expensive. You could just be like, can I steal that
No,
for money?
It's not worth as much as a trapdoor, though.
No. Oh boy, that's, yeah.
There is a part of me always tempted when I do loot on Thursday to be like, there's a trapdoor here worth a lot of money. Good luck getting it out.
I mean, like, I didn't even, like, it's one of those things that's like, I just didn't even think about it, and I'm just, like, going through it, a lot of it. You know, you go through the motions a little bit of, like, especially something pre-made, and then you're like, wait a second.
Why did you give me this information?
Yeah, it's a trap door. Why? That's expensive. Why is it so expensive and massive? And what? Like, I understand the reasoning behind the adamantine trapdoor. It kept the golem from moving.
Yeah, it exists there for a reason. Why is it loot?
Yeah, why do they give you the price value of it? They're like, if they I guess it's sort of like if people wanted to steal it because they assume players are going to steal it, unfortunately. Which is a terrible thing to assume, but I guess.
Let me just steal this very heavy trapdoor, walk across 2 rope bridges in windy, stormy weather, and then put it in a cart that maybe we brought.
Maybe. Hard to say. I'm
just imagining you save the dude, and then he just sees you stealing his trapdoor.
It's like, excuse me, what?
Why are you taking my trapdoor? That was very expensive. Please stop.
Oh yeah, it gave prices for his entire room of taxidermy.
This dude is still alive. What are you supposed to? Do they want you just to rob this rich dude?
The thing is, and he has other taxidermy stuff they don't give prices for. Like, he has the entire museum of things that you think would be much more expensive. They don't give prices for that. No, it's in his household, like the place he actually lives, that they have like this small 5x5 room filled with like 1,000 gold pieces worth of taxidermy.
I understand why. To this day, I don't understand.
It's just I think I just went with the flow constantly, and like it like as soon as someone mentions like, wait a second, this is stupid, and you're like, you stop yourself and you're like, wait a second, you were right. Why didn't I think of this before? Because you just went with the flow.
Sometimes when you're doing a module, you just kind of read off the paper.
Everything's in the book, you know. It's sort of like you tried not to do that. Honestly, it's like that's one of the advantages I had for using Skulls and Shackles as Buccaneers, is like the area we're in. I just got maps, so I put together maps. So I gave you some, you know. They didn't have maps of those areas, you know. Like at the docks or at the dry dock. The dry dock map was pretty cool that I found.
It was a good map.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it didn't allow for you to save that person, which I didn't want to like put next to you.
I don't think you could. I don't think it's designed for you to save that person. Honestly,
I think you're supposed to be a lot closer to them.
My plan, which was really dumb, was because of the wording on Shadow Trap, I was going to Shadow Trap the woman, and just so she couldn't be levitated away.
Yeah.
That was my stupid plan, but I couldn't get close enough.
I mean, again, it was like, considering distance was a difficult thing that I unfortunately didn't put into my brain account of everything. Which, you know,
I took a lot of damage.
Those
from poison.
those bees were mean.
There's some nasty wasps.
I mean, you know, they're only like CR3, but I mean, like, they do a lot of
You
damage.
fail your saves.
Yeah.
They're not fun.
And poison damage sucks.
Oh, it does, yeah.
But we'll talk about that a little while later.
Indeed.
That stuff. Regardless now for, like, you know... Go ahead.
I think the most important time to describe a room is when there's going to be combat in it.
Yes. I think combat, the possibility for combat, or if there's like something important they have to find there, or loot, or something like that. I feel like it's a hint to players when you describe a room that there might be something here, you know, or maybe there's something useful regarding that room. Even if like maybe there's not loot there, like I might describe a room to be like, hey, you know, it looks like the door is a little extra sturdier than the rest of them. Almost hinting that maybe this is a place you could rest in, you know? Mm-hmm. Things like that. And I think that's...
I'll never forget the time I described a bathroom in D&D, and a player, Silent Hill 2 style, reached into the toilet to try and find something that wasn't there. Like, what did you expect, sir?
I mean, honestly, out of the 3 times I ran Carrying Crown, you were the only group that didn't have someone horribly covered in cockroaches.
Ugh, God. It's awful.
Twice, even this time, I put in the restrooms on the first floor of Harrowstone. There was a cockroach swarm down the toilet.
There's a restroom in Harrowstone that I like the description of. It's the one sort of near the warden's office. There's nothing of value here today. It's the description of it.
Yeah, this is like, does that mean there could be? It's just a weird description. Look, and also like, I just found it like, it was that evil villain in me of like, you know, cover them in cockroaches. Yes.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Because like, it's the swarm, you know, is going to be getting in everywhere, and it's just unpleasant.
I feel like my character would have been fine with that. He lives in a forest. Mm-hmm. So like, this is just like a normal Tuesday. I mean, like, hilariously, there is one more horrible swarm that's actually built into one of those adventures that I didn't get to use. In one of the later adventures, there's a room that has a love seat in it. And if anybody sits on the love seat, there's a tick swarm in it. It's like the room is inviting and looks like a place to rest. So you can be like, oh, we can take a breather here. Yeah. And no, there's a swarm of ticks in the love seat. It's like, that's worse than making the love seat a mimic.
I mean, this is the same adventure that I really did enjoy it, but I knew it was a dick thing. And to make, like, you're going against vampires. Oh, hey, there's 3 coffins in here. 2 of them are mimics that have levels of rogue. Rogue mimics that look like coffins.
Carrying Crown is such a dick adventure.
I mean, it is. Some of it's so much more dickish than others, but definitely, like, it's designed just to be like, things are awful. I certainly do like some of the, like, it ends up like the tick swarm thing it's a dick move, but it's just also kind of hilarious.
It's kind of harmless.
I mean, like, they're like a CR under you and do a lot of painful, horrible things. So I mean, like,
but like, it's not that bad.
No, it's
it could be far worse.
Yes, that's very true.
Like a mimic and a mummy.
Oh God,
in the same room.
I mean, you're only fighting the tick on its own. The tick's on its own, at least. Is the door actually ajar? Only when it's a mimic, because then it could be ajar and turn back into a door.
Exactly.
I mean, I think I did a the worst mimic I did was a suit of armor. That was a mimic. That was like that the mimic had replaced a guy who'd passed away, moved the armor out of the way.
Jesus.
And so he still had like the weapon out of him, so it looked like he'd been impaled or something. So like it drew people in, you know.
I mean, I've just made like a sword a mimic before.
Oh,
and someone picks it up. That's a good one.
By the way, mimic. Mm-hmm.
You know, by the way, something tries to bite your hand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. By the way, your hand is being consumed, a la 90s blob style. Just to disturb you. There you go. But yeah, it's very difficult to judge how much description you want to do, certainly. And even if you if your players ask you for more and you give it to them, it can be hard to give them the right information. And it's
a puzzle in some kind of weird tomb on some forest where we were given some clues, and then someone was like, "I turned big and brute force it."
Look, they make a lot of bad choices.
They need a babysitter.
Joe's reliance on brute force because of giant form, or carry for being carry, or Joe, I can slime through it. I'm like, that's not always the answer, you know.
It's not gonna get you everywhere.
They make a lot of choices, or just they're very reliant on their abilities, unfortunately. And you know, might bite him in the ass. Just saying, might bite him in the ass.
One day.
I mean, I've been setting up for it. Slowly but surely, they're horrible doom for their own reliance on things. Or I will always remember, hey, you know this thing that sounds like an abomination to your existence? I can turn into one of those.
Oh, God. That was such a stupid idea.
It was an idea. I mean, honestly, it was an idea.
It technically worked. Because I rolled high enough on disadvantage.
Yes, you did. You rolled high enough and gave enough of an excuse to prevent horrible amounts of death. Yay!
I mean, if anyone deserves death, it's Joe's character. He's a horrible fucking monstrosity from, the fantasy Nazis.
Yeah. I mean, they're, fantasy Nazis combined with fantasy Borg. So they're,
they're, really bad.
Yeah, they kind of are. They kind of really are. Oof. That's a thing that they deal with. Yeah. But indeed. So I don't know if there's any more I want to hint on about this entire topic, because I mean, we hit on the major thing of you just try your best, and I think something to do is to keep in your own mind as you're describing something, imagine it yourself, kind of.
Yeah. Just remember, because that wizard has 20 intelligence does not mean the player does.
Yes. Or that person has 20 wisdom doesn't mean the player does.
No. People will overlook and miss things quite often. Or they'll focus in on the wrong things. Also, yes, don't hide your plot thingies behind the rolls. Hide information that helps behind the rolls.
Yes. Keep the actual plot things out of the way. Keep those details maybe you want to, kind of hide. So it's sort of they get the basic idea. Great. The extra things that they maybe needed to, that might need on helping judge that information correctly, that you can hide. You know, it's, you got to be smart in the way you're hiding things. But cool. I guess it's Kickstarter and Our Week in Tabletop, and I do have a
Ooh, I don't.
Kickstarter.
So this is good.
I have Salvage Union, which is a post-apocalyptic mech role-playing game.
Ooh, mechs.
Yeah.
The world is dead. Alright.
Yep. And all
That's
you have...
tall mech. That's just a Star Wars thing.
It is just a Star Wars mech with a thumb. Uh-huh. I mean, it's very Star Wars-y, definitely, that one there. Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting because it's we don't get a lot of mech role playing games, and it's a post-apocalyptic one about being kind of more of a salvager.
Yeah, I mean, it has kind of vague Mortal Engine vibes. To it. with some of this art. So
yeah, I thought it was a neat looking one. They have a free quick start you can get right now. So that is always a good thing. I love a good quick start.
It's not that expensive either.
No. So I might get this quick start just because I like getting quick starts anyway.
I like quick starts. They're really cool.
Yeah. I'm just quickly doing this here. But anyway, so yeah. You know, our week in tabletop? Or 2 weeks in tabletop, technically.
Yeah, 2 weeks in tabletop.
We're going to have another 2 weeks break because, well, I will probably be at a very high chance on Saturday I will be. I don't know my schedule for PAX Unplugged yet. I don't, because I don't know. I'm probably going to keep the business side relatively low, but do a little bit of business there. It will depend on who I can go with for my timing for PAX Unplugged. So I don't know what my schedule is. I'm assuming that at least on Saturday in the afternoon I will be away. That sounds like a good time for me to be away. The exact details of that I haven't determined yet. So I'm 99% sure I'm not going to be around for next week. But we don't do anything on Saturdays, do we, really?
No, we don't do anything on Saturdays.
No.
My Sunday game... I need to just click when I have a session. I would have had a session on the 21st, yes. We had like a big mega battle.
Ooh.
That I got kind of bored with because it was done in such a way that there were 30 initiatives rolled.
Ooh,
because as a new DM, he wasn't sure how to do it.
Yeah.
Side note, large battles are hard.
Yeah.
Have the large battle be narrative, and give your players a small battle, or do it in waves, because the DMG actually gives you rules on how to do wave-based combat.
Yeah. I honestly, for large battles now, I like combine a lot of initiatives. I try to keep the number of units down if I can, honestly. And like, or like, it's sort of like when the mutiny happened, there was stuff going on in the background, and
yes,
I just vaguely rolled a few dice and was like, it's like, did they roll well? Did they roll bad? Yeah, I determined some things randomly kind of by that. I give an idea.
That's how you do big combat. Otherwise, someone, no matter what, is going to be sitting there while you roll for like 10 NPCs.
That's why I just didn't want to deal with that shit. It's just like...
We have had a few large combats in Tuesday game. They were with NPCs, and they were fun combats. For one of them, with a big demon bird. And then we had that big... What was supposed to be narrative, and then someone jumped out of a plane and decided to slap a dragon.
Oof.
That became not narrative. And then the dude, he died. An idiot. So yeah, definitely do your combats in such a way where there's not 10 NPCs going before a player.
Yes.
Otherwise, that player is doing nothing for like a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
minimum.
I think I had the last one of Mega Monster Movie. The tabletop driving. We finished that up. We did resolve it. It didn't quite take the entire session, but certainly, like, I had set up for a couple of different things. The route you took, I had, like, as I said, like, I had a couple different maps. Like, the last map I had, like, you could have gone there first, technically, or something like that, or you could have done things a little differently with the, you did BS for, like, 30 minutes.
We did, yeah.
For a while, You BS'd a bunch in that session, which was fun.
That game was a lot of memes and BS. So.
That game was very memey.
Horse memes specifically.
The horse memes was great, but it was very silly. Which I think Just because, again, I didn't invite people as much as I should have, I think I'm going to probably skip this week. Maybe just do something else on stream. Maybe. If I organize something. And then, like, have the show return the next week. Theoretically, I'll get better at, because they are, you know, a limited number of sessions, organizing the next one before it. I think that's just something that I'm not used to an anthology thing, so normally I'm organizing stuff way in advance, and then I play for a while, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. It's like, the D&D games usually last for a while.
Yeah. Like, this was 4 sessions, you know? That was me not being ready. Not as much as I would like to, like, I could invite back the same group again, but, like, I did want to see about switching some people if I could, occasionally here and there, you know, just cycling through the groups or something at times. But I'll try to get that together. But yeah, finished up them. I think I had a session of Pathfinder in there, 2nd edition. I think I did have one where I was late because I was doing some stuff with my family, and then we didn't have our epic climactic battle where a red dragon is being sacrificed by an evil cult to try to bring back their dark god, and so we're like, well, that red dragon is probably really easy, really evil. I said easy. Wow, that was a weird slip of my brain. Hang around Carrie too much. I mean, Mads too much.
Yep. You know.
But we're like, it probably doesn't want to be sacrificed. We should free it, and then it would be the enemy of our enemy is our friend at least for 5 minutes.
Yeah, until it wants to kill you.
That'll probably be later on, honestly.
Dragon.
It is Dargan. It is murdery.
It can't be trusted.
No.
Usually. Some of them can, like the good ones usually can, and I think are the metallic dragons, which are the in-lord good aligned dragons or something.
Yeah. For
Pathfinder and D&D. Not chromatics, though. They're all evil.
Yeah. 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 We'll see. But, then, Wednesday,
I had a Tuesday game.
Oh, you have a Tuesday game, yes.
I have a Tuesday game. I don't know if we had 2 sessions. I don't remember, but we definitely had 1 session. And I do remember that session. A bunch of asshole gnome cops tried to arrest us for crimes most of us didn't do. Only the wizard did it, who stole like a lot of money worth of mithril and some magical technology. They found the magical technology, spoiler, and tried to arrest us all. And then, we did have a sewer trip. We did have 2 sessions then. Okay, did forget. Rewind. We were still in the city after the wizard stole shit and was just hiding on the ship because he didn't want to leave because terrified of cops. We went into a sewer and fought some cockatrice, and then that was easy enough. And some bandits were in the sewer and were like, "Hey, why are you down here? We're gonna fight you." And they lost horribly, but they lived, and I stole the dude's hat, so now I have a cool hat.
Ooh, cool hat.
I have to get it modified to fit my floofy ears. So I'm a fox person. We went at the boat, and some gnome cops showed up in a submarine, basically. I mean, that's information the character doesn't know. That's something I know, because I mildly helped design it a little bit. Turns out gnomes are just dicks in that world.
That happens.
Yeah, they're just assholes. So technically, I guess they're in the right because someone did steal their things. But then they tried to arrest us, and I told the ship captain, "Hey, if you want to do something, you should beat them up while they're still on the ship." And then we beat them up while they were still on the ship, and I stole a dude's gun and threatened him with it.
Cool.
Yeah. And now we're on a 4-month boat journey to the human lands to buy our own ship.
Hey, 4-month journey. It's wild.
So we could, for memes, I had asked, because in the player's handbook, it says you only need like a week to gain a level. Lightning said no to that, sadly. So now we're just gaining a bunch of proficiencies with the training rules. Lightning wouldn't let us have her training level.
Womp womp.
Because I hate that rule exists. It's so stupid.
You
can just take multiple weeks to gain a level, and it costs you a little bit of gold.
I don't mind. I like some level of training, but I feel Pathfinder does it a lot better than 5th edition. Is the unfortunate thing. Like things like I can take some time to learn a language, or you know, enough time and money to gain, like, to retrain something, or you know, things like that. You know, tweak things. Not to completely get
not
new
to just
stuff.
Gain a level.
Yeah,
it's so stupid.
It's a little much.
But, yeah, we beat up some gnomes. They deserved it though. One of them almost got cooked in a moonbeam.
Ooh,
it's kind of fucked up.
Ooh. Well, Wednesday we had Buccaneers of the Shackled Sea.
We did.
This last week.
Yes.
We were a week off there, so we didn't miss a week there, or we missed a week on purpose there.
Yeah, we missed a week because it was a holiday.
Yep. This one that you arrived at Rickety Squibs, old man Rickety, an old pirate who he squibs ships. He basically facelips them so they wouldn't be recognized by anybody, and then he started that. You negotiated for that, gave him enough money to do it. Then a couple of things happened, because it turns out you arrived during a horrible drought, and it's driving both the locals and the local wildlife crazy.
There's a naga, there's some giant bees.
Droughts causing some issues, and now at the end of the session, after dealing with these drought problems, someone showed up.
Yeah, someone turned up. I don't know who. The ship was pretty big, if I remember right. I think the ship was pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty big. At least the size of yours.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like 90% sure it wasn't the wormwood, but I've also not had much sleep, so I don't remember. Pretty sure that information wasn't there.
Yeah, honestly, the worm would have been, I think, smaller.
I think it is a smaller ship.
Yeah, I think it is more around the size of the Man's Promise. The Wormwood was a little smaller than the Man's Promise. Though I guess you are going to have to rename the ship. I think we were talking about that.
We're going to have to figure something out for that one.
Yeah. I gave my terrible suggestion. I suggest you come up with, like, you know, a better one or something, maybe.
Just a pun.
My pun one. Yeah. Look, I also would accept a pun if you have a good pun name.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a good pun, just we'll let chat name it. There we go.
You could.
Oh god, that's how we get Bodie McBoatface, but for real.
I mean, I called your Bodie McBoatface for now, until you come up with a real name.
The dreaded pirate ship Bodie McBoatface.
Yarr! Oh no, it'd be Bodie McBoatface! We're doomed! Dreaded horror of the seven seas. Yarr!
Oh god. Too much meme. We need to work the horse meme into it somehow.
We've had enough of the horse meme.
I mean, I have a name suggestion, but it's only gonna be funny to two people. We'll call it the Ocean's Problem. So when everyone sees it, they can shout, "It's the Ocean's Problem."
The ship will be named Hopes or Dreams or Megalovania. Oh, thanks, Lightning. Just thanks for that one there. Yeah. Then I did have a session of Children of Wrath yesterday.
Yeah, you did. I wasn't there. I was ill.
Yeah, you were not feeling well. So they discussed it for a while, and they didn't have another voice of reason so they were going to open it anyway. I mean, they said like it's 2 votes versus 1 to open it.
Yeah, when I'm not in the body of that character, the character doesn't exist apparently.
I just didn't know what I was gonna have you respond with. Like the thing is,
I'll be honest. My character has 8 intelligence.
Yeah.
He's a dumbass.
Yeah, you would have been like,
good luck figuring out what he'd say.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't know what he's gonna say to this. they're like, well, something horribly evil could happen, or it could just be an ancient artificer that would know stuff about this and help us out. And we're like, and I'm like, could be either. Turns out it was this nice lady. She is technically 8,000 years old. Oh, I'm sorry, more like 9,000 years old. Because this is the second time she's been in suspended animation like this. It turns out. First time, some horrible things happened in the ancient civilization that she was originally from. Her father basically replaced a bunch of her body with artifice and put her in suspended animation. Things happened and she was never removed from it. When a lot of that ancient technology that came from that civilization was being dug up for a horrible apocalyptic war called the Brothers' War, she was discovered. The person she was under the charge of was basically recreating that same technology, and when Mechagodzilla came to destroy the city she was in, she ended up going in that one and hoping that, again, it would only be a few years. Turns out, for a second time, it was like 4,500 years.
Boy, is she lucky with the group that found her.
She's feeling better about it because both time periods she came from were horrible death wars, that were like destroying the world.
It's like shame two idiots found her.
Yeah.
Two idiots and a goo man.
Yeah. I mean, like, as I said, she stated 70% of her body is replaced with artifice because of the horrible accident that happened.
That's just future Kaz.
But she also stated, like, yes, she might be more advanced than her, but she also doesn't know her, like, how to do stuff with her stuff. And there was a lot of interesting details that went. So it ended up, we only had like a 2-hour session, but we did not have a break because the session went on. Like, we got to a place I could almost make a break, but then they, like, started a new big conversation.
Well, of course they did.
Yeah. So it was just a lot of good conversations about, who this person was, what they can do. So she had been helping test pilot basically a experimental artifice fighter, I would call it, a thopter. That was originally the experimental version was man-powered, but they were going to eventually get, like, simple golems to basically be in charge of it, because the vehicles themselves have, like, a limited intelligence, so it's supposed to be combining 2 intelligences, one to basically maneuver it and the other to, like, use weapons.
Right, so we're just slowly becoming Neon Genesis Evangelion now.
But
right?
So, maybe, I don't know, maybe. There's probably a little bit of that in that. I didn't even think about that, honestly. But she can pilot the thing, and so they're like, her original plan, if she had actually had some weapons, which she didn't have, was to, and the vehicle was 100% operational, which it wasn't after the last test flight, was to wait until it breath weaponed, which it has a horrible electric breath weapon because it's a giant mechanical dragon. While it's recharging the breath weapon, fly into its mouth, plant a bomb on basically the power things for that, escape, and then just have it being disabled while other people can take care of it then, because, that's the worst part of it. Because she didn't actually have a way of defeating it. And she's like, well, we could do that, and then if you wanted to try to disable it from the inside, I could drop you off. If you wanted. So maybe you're getting dropped off inside of a giant...
We're being paradropped.
You're being paradropped into Mechagodzilla through its mouth.
This is a Godzilla movie. This could be a plot of a Godzilla movie. Like, they find a woman, like, suspended in time, and she knows all about this evil robot dinosaurs.
She didn't know all about it. She just knew enough because, again, like, they knew it was coming to attack the city, and had like, she's like, well, there was this like report on it that had some basic information. I don't understand all of it, but I knew enough to disable this breath weapon. After that, I can't help you. I don't know how to get rid of its spell ring. Oh yeah, and she did tell Kaz not to use his weapon of mass destruction around Artifice, especially because it was designed to set off power stones and unleash all of their energy at once, making the blast even larger.
Neat.
Yes, because apparently, back in her ancient civilization, before it degraded into a civil war, one of the groups, basically, I will call them what they were, terrorists, used some of those. So, yeah, she got in the thing originally in her first thing because Civil War. There was bad things happening. The Civil War happened because of this man named Yawgmoth who's like, we should be Phyrexians. And the other people were like, that seems like a bad idea. You can understand how this is a bad idea, and this is like, there's a lot of bad things that happen in that civilization.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, he likes the idea of having those, but I'm like, it's not a good thing to necessarily use.
Just like give a nuke to a toddler.
I kind of
actually
did.
Worse than a nuke.
Look, it's a small nuke at least. It's a you know, it's a nuke. Okay.
It's not quite as bad as, you know, us giving a demon lord a soul-stealing chalice in the modern era where people are very clumped together.
Yes. It's into flipping ladies. God damn it! Everybody's hitting on your hot wife.
Look, all right, she's hot.
Things will go well.
We've had an undetermined amount of children.
Yes, at least 2, maybe more.
There's at least 2.
I assume like they're like spread through the there's like a whole lot of them. They're spread through spectrums of ages because you just keep like you know showing up and having kids. You know. Yeah. It's like I'm back from an adventure. You know what time it is? Child making time.
It's time to have another one. It's Crusader Kings. I'm gonna just take over the world eventually with my kids.
It's Crusader Kings. God. Oh, we left off before mass battle though, so that's kind of where we're at. Well,
sweet.
You can be there for fighting Mechagodzilla.
I can be there to finally do the thing I made my character to do.
Fight Mechagodzilla?
Action Surge Fireball.
Oh, yeah. Yes. It'll be helpful. Well, there are supposed to be, like, smaller, like, golems inside the thing's body protecting it. So when you break in, you'll have to fight your way through, like, you know, not Pathfinder golems, you know, just constructs. They're murderable by fireball.
If they're Pathfinder golems, they'd be weak to guns, but we don't have any guns.
No.
Well, we have one gun, but Carrion's not allowed to use it.
No. Carrion's not allowed to use a lot of things that she keeps picking up.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, she touches buttons and causes things to explode. Then again, you know, like, Kaz did also try to use, like, weapons of mass destructions, you know, before multiple times. Like, every time they find something from that house that's, like, this screams weapon of mass destruction, they're like, should we use it or keep it? My
God.
At least they're not in the house anymore. I got them out of the house.
Good for that.
Yeah.
Well, and they can't find any more shit.
No. I might have put more shit in there. I don't remember now at this point in time. I've blocked it out of my mind. I did too much. That was an entire thing for a while.
What was the thing?
We are at least more on to plotline at this point in time.
Yeah, you know, we're no longer dealing with an insane squirrel man.
Yes. You could if you want to, but you don't need to.
I'm good.
I think that's it for our week and take.
I had a Thursday game.
Oh, you had a Thursday game. That's right.
I
can't forget your Thursday game because I'm in it.
You are. You are in it. And you play an insane man with a badger.
Look, I just have to say something about that game. Like it keeps slipping my mind until like we're playing it. And I'm like,
insanity. I think
it's there's too much insanity sometimes.
There's a weird pirate. There's a man who wears a badger.
Yeah, look.
There's a dude who can walk through walls now. That's weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of strange stuff in that game. It's fine.
Yeah, you know, nothing really happened that session. Besides, you took a floofy lady, you kept her to a shrine, and you saved her life. There you go.
I mean,
That's pretty much all that happened. Also, you saw like a celestial. That's weird.
I didn't think it was a celestial. I thought it was just like something else that fox people could do.
You just thought Kitsune could do that normally.
Look, honestly, like, again, I'm from like Bumblefuck the Gnomish village. I know jack shit about the world.
It is going back to the deeper discussion. This is why I have to be careful describing things, because I've got Wolverine in the party. I
will take things literally because I don't know enough. Because I'm also sure. What I was gonna say. Just interrupt for a second. Most of my knowledge comes from the racist guy that lived in the village.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The two things you need to know about this character is wears a badger on his head, and according to him, ghosts aren't real, only wraiths are.
Yes.
Just don't think about it too hard, right? Don't think about what a wraith is.
Spectral undead created through dark magics are one thing. Ghosts, which are lingering spirits created by horrible things left over, are entire another.
It would have been so good if this character went into the other quest line I had planned, because you would have been fighting ghosts.
I would have will save disbelief. That's not real. That's just something.
All you would have been fighting were ghosts.
No,
you chose horrible dragon monsters instead.
I didn't choose horrible dragon monsters.
Someone did.
Someone
I think the pirate did who wanted money.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the dragon monsters pay more to kill.
Apparently. I would have probably said no to the dragon monsters if I had the opportunity, honestly.
Yeah, they're kind of horrible.
Yeah. I mean, after we fought the first one, I'm like, can we not do this anymore?
They're a varying sea. Well, it's too late for that one.
I'm
sorry. You're locked in. Unless you buy a boat and leave, and then I have to figure something else out.
I can't afford a boat. I'm trying to afford plate mail right now, so I could just be a walking piece of metal.
I think you probably could afford plate mail by this point, because I gave you like 900 gold.
Did we get any more money this session?
Well, you did get a horde of money, but no one's divided up the loot yet.
Oh, yeah. Then I could probably afford it now. I was close to affording it before.
Now. Yeah, you needed like 200 or something more.
Yeah.
And you got badger armor you still haven't picked up.
Yeah, I gotta go pick up my badger armor. But we keep getting teleported to places and, like, jumping around.
It's almost like teleportation is faster.
Yeah, or someone's, like, weird. Look, I'm riding a giant bird, it's fine.
Yeah, that's how I can describe my game. One character has a chocobo.
One person has a car and the other has a chocobo.
One has a car and the other has a chocobo.
That's what we have. That's our combination.
Also airplanes canonically exist.
Yes.
Kind of shit. But that wasn't made in this game. That was made in the other game.
Same world, just made in the past. Look, it's gnomish. No one trusts it.
Gnomes are going to be the reason the Geneva Conventions exist. That's true for every setting.
Yeah. Right? No, I'm sorry. Was it the whatever the Tinkerer gnomes are? Are they stone gnomes or something?
The rock gnomes.
Rock gnomes. Forest gnomes, we're going to do shit. We're just going to be standing around talking to badgers. And everybody's going to blame us. And we're like, look, it wasn't us. It was our cousins. They're a little crazy. We're fine with them. They're like that crazy uncle you don't take to you only see it like one holiday. It's the same thing. It's just they're a little off kilter. It's fine.
I don't know how my game became this level of madness. I don't know. It was supposed to be a more serious story, but then these players happened.
Look,
and I've had to adapt.
Badger on his head guy was fine enough as it was. I think
the pirate is the one who kind of threw it over the edge.
Yeah, I think pirate put us over the edge. Like, yeah, you've done nothing wrong.
I've made two very serious characters.
Like, I feel like I'm weird, but I think, like...
You're weird, but you still want to do things.
Yeah, I still want to do things and, like, be a good person.
And pirate is like, I want money for everything. Also executing a prisoner. Which everyone, I hope, hasn't forgot about.
I have not forgotten about that. I generally just... I think my character's given up on trying to understand the pirate.
Yeah. I think everyone has. I will kill that sorcerer eventually.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as Mac, at least.
Oh my god, Mac!
Well, it's not Mac levels of meme.
Mac was a hell of a meme. I mean, like, I feel like Mac could have been better if he had better production.
Yeah.
There was so much about Mac. It's that entire thing that, like, I think it was the issue of introducing...
Concept was good.
Two characters at
execution.
once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two characters at once is not an easy introduction.
Oh, it's hard.
Oh, yeah.
It is hard.
It's hard enough doing one that you're introducing in the middle of an adventure. If we'd somehow been able to space them out or something like that, actually space them out, you know.
Yeah, it can be. Mac was a super meme character.
Yes. But I think that was our weeks in gaming. Is there anything I'm forgetting? Anything Friday?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't do anything on Fridays.
I currently don't either.
I'm changing my schedules around so that I might be doing stuff on Fridays. Because I need to get more sleep and work less.
I've been thinking of, at very least... Because I don't know if I would want to stream, like, some of these test things out, or just do it off stream and talk about it. Like, I don't know where that comes into, because I definitely want to... I've been thinking more about that, like, 4th edition we were talking about, too. Because I kind of...
That could be really fun.
I'd like it
off stream.
Yeah, like, at least testing it out.
Could be good on stream eventually to show people that 4th edition actually wasn't that bad.
No, that's what I'm thinking, too, for, like, doing like an adventure or something, but doing some off stream stuff with it to, like, get a hold of it. But the thing is also, like, I know that the humanizing of let's struggle and figure the fuck what this is out, you know, is a thing that, you know,
oh yeah,
has
it's gonna
merit.
take some learning.
But that might also be better for like a YouTube thing than a Twitch thing.
Yeah, it'd be like you record it and then upload.
Yeah, I feel like that would be if we really wanted to do something like that, would be like, you know, the struggles of what the fuck are we doing?
I also want to get some people together for tabletop sim again.
I did. I did some tabletop sim this week, sort of.
Ooh.
I did. Joe and Blaze and I. So there's something wrong with Joe's system for tabletop sim. We did get a couple of games of Fluxin.
God.
Remember we were having those issues with Stellaris? It might be something of the similar. I don't know. Or Lightning would remember, I think, because it was Lightning,
Yeah,
Eric, me, and
asleep.
Joe. Yeah, you were asleep.
Once again, I worked too goddamn.
I think I might have mentioned it, though, so I don't know if you would remember.
I think you did, but I have a terrible memory.
Yeah,
Also, I had 4 hours of sleep today.
Nah, that's fine. But, so for whatever reason, like, he couldn't load, like, Blaze loaded into me just fine. We could play together. He either couldn't load in, or there was some issues, or there was, like, crashes that would occur, and we could sort of figure out and play for a bit, but I couldn't do things like reset the game, or change like major settings like that. They would always cause issues, and then it would take us a while to finagle getting it to work again. A lot of like restarting, reconnecting, and stuff. Thursday evening after Children, he plays around with some stuff, and he's like has me test it out a couple of times, and then like, you know, I go and make, you know, like right after the game he does those tests, and then I go make some like late night snack, and I come back up and he's like, hey, I think I figured it out, come in here. He can't do a friend server. He has to do a private server with a password.
That's weird.
The server with the password worked perfectly.
That's so weird.
Like, he started one, I loaded into it, no issue. I started one, he loaded into it, no issue.
That's strange.
Yeah. Like, the friend servers, which are supposed to, like, avoid passwords, apparently they don't work for him.
Oof.
Oh, that's what's going
Yeah, I want to try and get some people together and drag people through playing the Resident Evil board game, because it's actually a really good board game.
I would like to try that board game and some other ones, too. I do think I subscribe to a bunch of other board games again, because I was checking that out after we did the tabletop sim with Joe the first time. I went through and, you know, added a couple new games. Because I've already got 1 billion games in tabletop sim I've subscribed to.
Yeah.
Why not more? But yeah, so I did do some tabletop sim this week. I almost forgot. It was a couple of games of Flux. I think I won both of them.
Congrats.
Yeah. I think both times I won, it was because The one time I just happened to draw like what I needed right away, and then the other time is it was you had to play all your cards, and Joe happened to have to play the thing that made me win. It's like, well, I can't do anything about this. You win. Like, we. And it was the exact same way to win, which was the ironic thing, because I had already reloaded not only Tabletop Sim, but the entire game and shuffled it up, and I got the same win condition twice.
Oh my god.
But, all right. I think that's a great place to leave it off there. We've had some good talks. It's been a couple of hours. We got through a couple weeks of stuff. As I said, probably off next week. If there's a change in my schedule and I end up around for something, I will let people know. I don't think I will try anything crazy like stream from a phone or anything like that. Granted, I am taking the train in, so I don't know if I'd want to like stream from a laptop, maybe like a little like stream or something. They do have like the media room I could stream from, but I don't know what my internet would be like there. Is the only thing.
Yeah, it could be like a really shit internet.
I mean, they have people streaming for that place or doing stuff from that place anyway. So, I don't know. I'll figure out what I want to do and, you know, figure something out. I'm going to kind of leave that up in the nebulous up in the air. Should be having Children of Wrath this week. Buccaneers of Shackled Sea. Both of those should be on schedule. As I said, Tabletop Drive-In. I'm calling it for now because I don't have that organized. Not tomorrow. Gonna have a week off. I'm gonna try to get better at organizing those ahead of time. I've hit up a bunch of people. I'm probably gonna have to start hitting up the old group again because I've only maybe picked up one for the new game, and there's a couple people that I haven't been able to reach anyway. So whatever on that, you know. If people don't respond to me, they don't respond to me, and I have to move on. You know,
Yeah.
I have to give it not enough time. I'm too open, maybe that's the word. And then I should theoretically have some gaming streams sometime this week. Again, like Friday, Saturday next week are going to be probably pretty busy. You know, I don't know how busy yet. Again, depends on what's really going to be at the convention, how many business meetings I make, and who I know ends up being there. These are big factors that I know a couple of my friends are going to be kind of going, but I don't know which days they're going, and then I don't know what they're planning, and fuck, that means I don't know what I want to plan. And I don't have a particular huge amount of money to spend, which does limit my abilities to do stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
It's been a difficult couple of years, so it's sort of like PAX East. I want to kind of go. I think I need to get a couple of people for a room if I would want to go to that one.
Oh yeah, you would definitely.
I can't afford to get a room on my own at this point in time. Like, I can drive up there. That's doable. I can get a pass because I got one before, but that doesn't mean I can go. Boston would be nice. Anyway, it was relatively nice before. Anyway, I'm tangenting a lot for an outro. I think my current gaming plans are, there's a couple of games I was looking at. I'll figure which one's out and make a final decision what I'm going to do and kind of things like that, and let people know, Discord, Twitter. So, but for now, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Momo, for joining me today.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon we'll have some other folks join us.
Hopefully.
It's just been like people's schedules have not been great for it.
It's a busy month.
It is a busy
for a lot of people.
Yes, I should probably start trying to hit up people like maybe a little ahead of time, just because that always is a better idea.
Usually is to have more warning.
Yeah, maybe like on a Friday, like being like, "Hey, anybody good for tomorrow?" or something.
Yeah, it'd be a good plan.
Yeah, but anyway, I want to run off. I don't know if I'm doing anything else today, tomorrow, what my schedule's like. Keep an eye out, Discord, Twitter for that. I'm guessing Momo, well, we'll see you Wednesday?
Oh, yeah, I'll be here Wednesday.
Yeah.
And probably for Wrath.
Yeah, and probably for Wrath.
Barring severe headache, which I hope I don't get again.
Hey, that would have me cancel, honestly. So I understand.
Yeah, like I don't fuck around with headaches anymore.
I don't get them very often, but when I get a really bad migraine, it kills me.
Oh yeah.
It's like once every few months, just like my brain just kills me completely. That's not too bad for me numbers wise, but still, I've had those days and they are not good.
No, they're not.
So, anyway, for now, I hope everybody has a great rest of your Saturday, great rest of your weekend. If I don't do anything else, or you don't see me for anything else, and until those next times, I bid all of you a farewell and a goodbye.
Bye.